What's the deal, YouTube? We're back with the weekly Xbox Beastfire podcast. This is listen. We're still in the E3 craze. We have yet to get together and give our own. Well, you may have heard it from me on my channel. You may have heard it from Gil on his channel, TV. But we have yet to get together and give our input. What we thought about E3. Also, too, we want to talk about the Phil Spencer and what he said about the outlandish comment that everyone's jumping up and down. If he said that, I think he was misquoted or taken out. It's worth taking out of context. About the whole you need a 4K television to fully well. What I mean, I guess that's not really he said you need a 4K television to fully take advantage of the Scorpio.
Yeah, he's been that's been proven to be inaccurate. He's already went back on that statement. I just did a video about it today. So did D. You can check those out, but yeah, that's not true. And he's already went back and clarified on that.
What was said that he supposedly said? I'm sorry, we can start from there. What did he supposedly say?
He basically misspoke and said that you'd need a 4K TV to take advantage of Scorpio. If you don't have a 4K TV, buy an Xbox One S because Scorpio will not benefit you. And like I said, he's completely went back on that, clarified. He didn't mean to say what he said apparently or some shit. And obviously, looking at the power of this thing, you're not only going to get 4K if you've got the TV. If not, it'll be downsampled to 1080 or whatever your maximum resolution of your monitor is. Mm-hmm. You'll also be getting a hike in settings, so lighting, textures, the things we've been talking about wanting. Frame rate, all of that. They've even said they're going to be rendering at 60 hertz in the Scorpio reveal trailer. So it's by far the biggest power just boost in pretty much console history, or at least the most notable one. And if you want it, go get it because you're going to notice a huge difference.
All right. Dean, you there?
Yeah, so what he basically said yesterday, I think they're quoting, a lot of people are quoting the article with Eurogamer. I think that's the article. It was, or somebody was talking to anyhow. What he said is, he asked the guy what TV he has, and the guy said, I have a 1080p TV. And he goes, well, then I'm not going to try to sell you on the Scorpio because this is not for you, yada, yada, yada. Yesterday, he did another interview where he walked it back and he realized that he actually gave some misrepresentation of what he wanted to say. He corrected himself.
That was going wild on Neil. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
And then he clarified. He said, he goes, if you do have a 1080p TV, you will get an advantage of it, as the 4K will be downscaled to your TV, so you will see an advantage. And he said also too on the older games, say like Halo, that has a dynamic resolution. He goes, you might not see the penalties of it dropping down in resolution because you have more power. But he said, I made that comment to reiterate that we actually built this console to do 4K gaming. So he was trying to push ahead that it's really, they built it for 4K gaming, and that's what it's in mind. However, if you do have a 1080p TV, you will be able to take advantage of it. You will see a benefit. But if you want to see the full benefit of it, get a 4K TV. That's what he meant to say, and he clarified that today in the interview.
What's crazy? Did you see Adam? What's his name? Boyce, the one that talked like a fucking mouse. Yeah. And he was saying,
DeGeneres?
Him. I was reading somewhere in the article. I don't know if it was Eurogamer or something, and he was saying that both companies are trying something new with new iterations mid console cycle, whatever. He was saying, was saying that reiterated the PS4 is not a next generation console. It's whereas the Xbox Scorpio may be quote unquote seen as as a next generation console. They're already coming out and admitting that listen, these motherfuckers done blew our fucking doors up. You look at what Phil said in the E3. You've seen the OG Xbox, you've seen the Xbox One S Slim, and you've seen the Scorpio, same ecosystem. You know what I mean? But see now, also too, you see the narrative has changed. That now is all about the games. And I told you guys this would happen. Once Microsoft come out and blow the door, have the more powerful console, it's going to be all about the fucking games. You see these motherfuckers.
Don't you think it's funny that Sony are damage controlling their own console already?
Yes.
And the thing is, I've gotten that comment several times in my comment sections that PlayStation Neo is just an iterative console upgrade. It's not a whole new console to mark a new generation. And that's the funny thing, because neither are Scorpio. They're both iterative upgrades. They're both going to play all the old games and new games, maybe at family devices, right?
Mm-hmm.
But Microsoft destroyed Sony this time around so bad that even Sony are trying to convince you that that the Xbox is a whole new generation. They're doing something different. It's the same thing, but Microsoft wins.
Yeah, and also too, Phil was saying today. He goes, we could have we could have had a more powerful Xbox One this year. He goes, it was available. We looked at it and we saw that in order for us to really get true 4K gaming without any mishmash, we had to get 6 teraflops. That's what the developer said. So he said we waited, and that's why we're going to release in 2017 because we're going to get a better GPU. So basically, he's saying we didn't take the route that PS4 did. We're not going to do 1440p upscale to 4K. We're going to do true 4K, and that's why we're waiting. So that
And they're going to do it
confirms
with
that the
settings
PS4
and what's
Neo.
available now.
Yeah, and also there was some other interview. I forget the guy's name. Layden, I think is his name, from the Sony group, whatever. He was doing an interview, and they were asking him about the power of the Scorpio, and he pretty much downplayed it completely. He kind of just downplayed the question, saying, "Oh, well, both companies are leading in innovation," and just tried to skim over it. So now you know Sony. If Sony had a more powerful console, there's no way that Microsoft say that. Trust me, they'd be saying something. They'd be screaming.
It's good to see Microsoft go on the offensive, man.
Yeah, listen. We'll shout my boy Tim though, who's at A3 this year. God willing, in the creek don't rise, like my grandmother said. Hopefully, I'll be there next year. If the if my how you say what's the Game of Thrones, the many face gods to see so. Hopefully, I'll be there next year. But anyway, with that being said, he was like, Phil listens to all of us, and again. For people who don't know why I made that video and I dedicated to Phil yesterday, I've always, like I said, Phil reminds me of Mr. Rogers that lives on fucking Elm Street, and his next door neighbor is fucking Michael Myers and fucking Jason Voorhees or some shit. Like, he's too fucking nice. Now, yesterday you seen Phil come out and was like, yo ho, like, you know what I mean? He gave you some carrots, was like, hey man, you motherfuckers showing these games that coming out in 2025. And we ship more exclusive IPs than Sony. What you guys feel about Phil? Like, finally, what I mean?
It's good. Like, it's about time. Shit. It's about time Sony got called out on that. They do that every year.
Last
year they won supposedly won E3 showing games that haven't come out. Still haven't come out yet. Now this year, I believe only 2 games got a release date. I believe all the other games that they showed were all listed as in development.
Mm-hmm.
And let's be honest. Most of these games, I think Horizon will probably make the cut next year. But the rest of the games, Spider-Man, Days End, those God of War, those are not coming next year. Those games are coming in 2018. And even Phil alluded to that when he said, these games possibly coming out in 2018.
It's not like he's doing anything crazy, bro. He's just being honest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. T. Reaper, you there? T. Sweaty Balls Reaper? What's up? What you doing? Playing pocket pinball? What the fuck you doing, bro?
Sorry, I'm trying to screw with this. I'm trying to screw with this.
He pulled the DSP gaming back there playing hide to fucking catch the worm. So anyway, talk to me. So what do you, like I said, I haven't spoken to you really on air. So what do you think about the Xbox Beast Fire? Are you what? Talk to me. What you all about it?
All about it. It's the next second coming as next.
Second coming to what? The Atari Jaguar? What? Second coming to what? What the fuck are you talking about?
It's the next second coming to your podcast.
So we'll play this. What did you think about E3, T. Reaper?
I liked it, and just to clarify, so you guys are saying that Phil basically went backwards and said that you don't need a 4K TV. You don't need a 4K TV to run the S because it automatically runs native 1080p, but it can upscale to 4K, right?
It's going to upscale everything.
So everything. No. He's not talking about everything is going to be in 4K. However, if you have a 1080p TV, it'll downscale it to your TV, and you'll be able to see it on your TV, and you'll be able to benefit of the higher textures and whatnot.
Yeah. Okay, but if you really want that 4K experience, you do need a TV that does 4K, right?
Well, if you want the full experience of that box, so that'd be HDR 4K gaming, native 4K gaming at 60 frames per second, you'll get the most out of it. He also went on to say that the developers, they can use that 6 teraflops of power any way that they like. So if a dev really just wants to make a game that's 1080p, 90 frames per second, whatever, he actually can do it. He says he's going to give them the creative freedom to do it. However, they really want you to be playing 4K games.
Oh,
So
I mean,
they really want you to have that special TV, right?
you know what?
He
Well, you
really
know what?
wants you basically. He wants you to
as-
get the use out of the console you just paid all that money for by having an actual display that can show you what you're paying for. Basically, that's what he wants you to have.
You know what,
as-
though? I think that should be a standard. Let's be real. I mean, listen. This generation, you know, Sony was the market leader, or whatever everyone still is the market leader, whatever the case may be. And there was no, hey, say, what's that shit, Boogie? Say, hashtag no parity. We got our fucking 900p games. They got 1080p games. We got our 720p games. They got their 1080p game. That should be a standard. If the console can do 4K, that should be the fucking standard. 4K, whatever the frames per second should be. It is what it is. You know what I mean? And if Sony has, well, it's going to be upscaled or whatever the case, fine. Let us have our fucking, KKV2. Fuck that. That should be a standard. You know what I mean? Don't fucking downgrade our shit because the Neo can't do it or whatever the case may be. But shit, Yoshida was talking that the standard PS4 probably can do fucking 4K, where he was fucking talking. But I think that should be the standard, man. I don't. Maybe you
But
got
There was a leak. There was a leak for the Neo, bro, and they said like basically they're aiming for like 2160p is kind of the average resolution for those Neo games.
Well, I'll say this based on the specs of the because it's definitely running an RX 480 definitely because the full specs for Polaris has been out and the highest GPU they have on the Polaris line is 36 CUs. So that's put to bed. It's definitely that. Now RX
Just an
480,
underclocked 480, right?
yeah, an underclock 480. Now a RX 480, in all fairness, it will be able to hit 4K 30 frames per second. It will be able to hit. I don't know about the Ultra. I would even say maybe Ultra probably, to be honest with you. But it'll definitely be able to hit 30 frames per second. That GPU, though, is not powerful enough to hit 60 frames per second. So what you're going to most likely see is games that are in 1440p, and then they're upscaled to 4K. It's still an improvement over 1080p. It's twice the resolution of 1080p, so you'll see an improvement. But the Xbox One is going to do native 4K, so that's 4 times the resolution of 1080p. And I know Next Gen has one. I have a 4K TV. Anyone else on the panel have a 4K TV?
I do. I have 2 of them.
Yeah, they're
Okay,
cheap,
so
though. You know,
the quality of a 4K image is breathtaking. How clear it is. It's like almost looking through the glass. And I don't know if any of you guys have HDR yet, but the HDR it's another. Honestly, to tell you, the HDR is a bigger jump for me than the 4K. Yeah, the 4K was nice. It's a higher resolution. But the HDR, right away you notice it. As soon as you look at the TV, like, oh damn, look at that sun. You squint when the sun is shining. Like there's a scene with the sun, you squint because it's got a lot more luminance. It's got a lot more colors. It's got a lot more shades of white, shades of black. It's a regular 4K TV and traditional TVs have 16 million colors. HDR has over 1 billion colors. It's billions of colors. Okay, that's 60 million to billions of colors. That's a big jump. So we're seeing things that we see with our natural eye. Like for instance, the Coke, the red of a Coke. Up until now, there's been nothing that was able to reproduce the actual color of the Coke can. Now with HDR, you can actually get the real color of the Coke can. That's just to show you how realistic.
And the Xbox Slim is doing this too. Jesus.
Yeah, the Xbox. So people are saying, oh, it's not a big upgrade on the CPU and GPU. It doesn't need to be. To be honest with you, the HDR alone is going to be the games are going to look different. It's going to have different shading. It's the clouds are going to look different. The sunlight's going to look
true
different.
colors, basically.
The characters.
Realistic colors.
It's going to be. I can't wait for gamers to get this. It's gonna blow their minds.
I see your true colors shining through.
Now, what I was saying is people were asking me, should I upgrade for $300 for this HDR? And I just said no. Put it all towards the Scorpio next year. It just makes more sense if you don't got the cash, But really, we need to address the elephant in the room. All the PC gamers and be like, you can't get 4K 60 or this or that with 6T flops.
Mm-hmm.
Console, it's a different story. As we were talking about before we went live, what they say, you can get up to 40% more out of a console with 6T flops than you can a PC because of the closed environment, and devs are just targeting this GPU and CPU. Yes, I mean that is the difference between a closed ecosystem. So,
and for those that don't believe, it was AMD that actually said this. There's slides on the internet that say this, that you get 40% increase performance on the console part compared to the PC counterpart. Just because it's less to optimize for because it's set of hardware. You don't have an OS. You don't have like a million different type of configurations that you gotta worry about. And also too DX12 going forward makes their job even a lot more easier than that.
Okay, listen, we had D-Crab Gamer in the comment section. He said a console closed box 6 teraflops GPU, but the CPU and everything combined makes it between 8 and 10 teraflops. Now, there was an article, I think I sent you guys the picture or a link to the article. I think Tech Buffalo or something was saying, well, they were saying that they were just saying basically that the GPU was just 6 teraflops, okay? That's not including what they're going to get from the CPU. So they were saying they add Polaris and Zen technology together. Where the hell was the article at?
It'll probably be Zen. So most likely because they're releasing this console next year. Zen comes out either the end of this year or January 2017. It makes no sense for them to put old Jaguar core into that when the Zen's going to be available for them. Definitely, it's going to have Zen. And if I don't want to go into guessing all the teraflops because you start to get into a lot of theoretical stuff.
Yes.
But like
just gonna go off what they told us so far.
Yeah. So right now they're saying that the GPU is 6 teraflops. Yes. Once you add in the CPU, you're gonna of course you have more compute power. So let's just leave it at that for now. But theoretically, yes, you can get probably another 1 to 2 teraflops from potentially from a good CPU added into the whole system. Also, too, they closer to launch, I'm sure they're going to be making all types of tweaks and alterations towards launch. They might, just like happened with the Xbox One, they realized at the last minute, we can overclock the CPU more and get more out of it. We might have a situation like that where they say, you know what, instead of clocking it 850 megahertz, we actually see that it's quite stable clocking it at 925 megahertz.
Similar to what they did with the X1 before launch.
Yeah, and then they could crank some more teraflops out of it. So it has the potential to go higher, but for now, we should probably just quote it at that.
There's one thing that I wanted to address real quick because I've been getting this comment as well. Nvidia fanboys, and I'm running Nvidia card right now on my PC. I mean, I don't necessarily prefer one or the other, but the facts are the facts. Nvidia fanboys are saying teraflops when it comes to teraflops when it comes to an AMD card do not equate to 2 teraflops coming from an Nvidia card, and that's simply not the case. A teraflop is a teraflop, so that all comes down to drivers and optimization on each side. Team green, team red, 6 T-flops is still 6 T-flops. It doesn't matter if you're getting it from a fucking rocket-powered porta-potty, so either way, you're going to have people saying that, and it's just not the case. It's just capable. It all comes down to drivers.
I got a question.
Those guys saying that, first of all, anyone that games on PC knows of GameWorks. GameWorks is pretty much designed to gimp all of AMD's GPUs. So they were comparing it to like the I believe it was like one of the Furies where it got beat out by like a lower card that had lower teraflops on it. But all DX11 games, they were optimized for Nvidia hardware. This has changed now with GCN and Async Compute and DX12.
Yeah.
Nvidia is no longer the leader. If you have the same equivalent card, the AMD card is whooping it in DX12 or anything that's Async Compute. So that's a bunch of
really
rubbish.
help that because they're developing on AMD hardware from the beginning. So all of that optimization comes through on the PC side as well.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing, a segue into this, you tech junkies. Price tag. Now, Phil was saying that they're aiming this console for the hardcore gamers, the guys that care about the frame, the T's, the power. They said they're this is going to be our baby. So what do you think? $500? 600?
5.
Yeah, I say no more than $500 because the 14 nanometer technology, it's a lot easier, it's a lot cheaper to make. Mm-hmm. So their profit, and when you have these big companies buying millions of GPUs, they get a good deal on it. I can't see the entry Vega level being higher than $350 for the consumer, much less what Microsoft would pay for it, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So you think about $500?
Yeah, it will be no more than $500.
And people are comparing the Scorpio and saying it's got to be way more expensive because the new S is $299, and that S comes with one of the cheapest 4K Blu-ray players on the market. So that's a big reason for one, but two, you'll see that thing fall in price too.
It'll be like the old days, like the original Xbox 360, where it came out and PC guys were like, "How the hell does this system have all this power for that price?" It's gonna be going back to those days, man.
You know what? I may have to fucking I'd say eat my own words. I said, because what happened last generation, just be honest, it wasn't healthy. That 8, 9 year console cycle, you know what I mean? And a lot of people that do still feel slighted about these new consoles, the PS3 and the 360 were their, I guess, first consoles or whatever the case may be. So they think a normal console cycle generation lasts 7, 8, 9 years. No, normally a console generation is between 4 to 5 years, and then we, get something new. But now, and I think it's a win-win for everybody. No longer will our games and all that shit get old. We get this everything that you have right now, ladies and gentlemen, digitally or even physically on your set console, you can take with you to the Scorpio. Same controllers. I think that is dope. So I guess how they're kind of like my boy Show say, they kind of ushering us into, I guess, how the PC guys say, hey, I bought this goddamn game in 1988 on PC, I can still play it. PC gamers have always had that one up on us said quote unquote console gamers because they were able to take their library with them since the days of Minesweeper, whatever, to now. But now us as console gamers, we're finally going to be able to do that. You know what I mean? I think that's dope. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, but I'm excited. I think the gaming industry, this is what we needed, you know what I mean? Like, just not for nothing. Like, everything's buzzing. I'm just reading an article right here that Microsoft's E3 conference was talked about it the most, you know what I mean? During E3. Speaking of which, segue, did you guys see Nintendo shit? Did you guys see that fucking shit there? Like,
I did not see Nintendo.
Oh my god!
I only saw Zelda. That's it.
Listen, I want to say this because I was talking to some fucking. I think nowadays my fucking patience has ran out for fanboys on either side, or even frontier. But who the fuck comes to E3 with one fucking Pokemon game and one Zelda game and they get it passed? Oh my god, that Zelda! They're like the goddamn NX comes out in March. Like we know more about the Scorpio than we fucking do the NX. But you know what's crazy as hell? I gotta say shout out to Tim and Crap and those guys. They were right. I was giving Nintendo the benefit of the doubt. I said, I was like that, they've been in business for over 100 years, and they're back, I guess it's against the wall. They can't afford another fucking done. They're going to have to bring it. And I'm not a big Nintendo fan. They were going to have to bring it, as far as hardware. I'm reading an article here that Ubisoft put out yesterday. Like they're going back after the customers that they had on the Wii that didn't upgrade to the fucking Wii U. I was like, whoa. So
man, Nintendo are fucked. They're done.
I would not buy that fucking console. It says here, E3 2016 Nintendo boss on the NX. For us, it's not about specs. Nintendo is more on focus delivering great content rather than making this next console codename the NX a technical powerhouse. This is from Reggie. But Ubisoft said yesterday, they was like they're going after the consumers that didn't upgrade from the Wii to the Wii U.
They're just like Sony, man. They're damage controlling the specs of their console too.
No, did you hear what the fuck they said? They're going after the consumer that they lost. They didn't upgrade from the Wii to they're going after my grandma. Hey grandma, they advertising the NX for you, baby. If my grandmother had a fucking Wii, she still has a fucking Wii. You know what I mean? Like
that's the thing they don't realize though. Like 80% of the people that bought the Wii didn't play the fucking thing.
Yeah, like it was the gift and the fucking curse. So again, I was hoping that we may get a big 3 battle out or whatever. Nah, it's not. And I think honestly, again, I don't really care for Nintendo's IPs. I'm not really with that Mario shit, and just not for me. So I'm not buying. I usually buy the Nintendo consoles every generation. I'm sorry. I will not be buying the NX at all. I'm sorry.
Bro, I feel like we'll see Mario on Xbox and PlayStation Plus.
I don't give a fuck
in the next 5 years.
I don't give a if he was on the TurboGrafx 16.
I mean, I'd like to own all the original Marios. I would, as like arcade games. That's
okay. Really here's the thing, but at the end of the day, I don't look at them as real games, like something they just to me like a Subway Surfer type game. Just being honest, like like you save one princess, you save them all. Like it's the same shit, the same place. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, and it's just fucking confirms what Ubisoft suggested they going. They're looking to get back. Get back. Before Nintendo said they were going after the consumer that they lost to Sony and Microsoft. Okay, and that's why I bought the Wii U. I'm just being. I thought the Wii was gonna be my last Nintendo console, but when they said they was going back after the consumer that they lost to Sony and Microsoft throughout the years, and that was me. Like I always said, I've grown up with Nintendo, but Nintendo hasn't grown up with me. My first console was the NES. The NES was the shit. Then the Super NES, and it just got weirder and weirder. Like these motherfuckers were sticking their thumb in their ass and stuff.
Gotta do some weird shit,
Yeah, they were just fucking. They were just getting weirder and weirder over the fucking years. But now, like I said, they're going back after the consumers that they lost to the fucking, that didn't upgrade to the Wii U. I don't have any faith in that console whatsoever. I told you guys, I was saying it last week. So if I have to have a list of demands for me to spend my money with you, you don't need to get my fucking money. You know what I mean? I gotta have a fucking checklist. Like I should have to beg you to have voice chat. I shouldn't have to beg you to have fucking game invites mandatory. I shouldn't have to beg you to want to live stream when you're on Twitch and all that shit. Nah, fuck that. I was gonna buy it for the sake of of my channel to talk about the content. Maybe they may still have a game or something that I may like. But I'm not. Zelda. I heard they're looking pretty cool. But I'm not paying $400 fucking bucks to play fucking Zelda. You can suck my dead grandfather's dick for that. I'm sorry, man. Excuse my French, but fuck that. I'm sorry, man. They just need they need new blood in there, man. I just can't build.
There ain't gonna be no blood in there. They're done. If this flops, they're done.
Yeah,
I don't think they'll ever. Well, they'll be done with selling consoles, but they should have moved to mobile a long time ago. That's where they can make a lot of money.
Yeah, they're doing that now. They're sending like Animal Crossing and stuff to mobile
because their games are they're so basic now.
Yeah,
I was looking at the indies from the show from Microsoft's press conference. I'm more interested in those games than I am in anything that Nintendo's coming out with.
Hey, bro. At the end of the day, they're even losing to the new kids, because kids now play games on their iPads, and I'm not gonna. Why would I pay $30 for a Nintendo game when I get a Subway Surfer for free or 99¢? Like my daughter, she's gonna skip the whole 3DS phase. She plays games on her iPad. You know what I mean? For free. Yeah. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, and the market and the gaming landscape has changed. It's forever evolved, and Nintendo never. They're like your drunk uncle at the cookout with the plaid shirt on, with the bell-bottom pants and the fucking fish in the bottom of his shoes. Like he just is still stuck in the fucking 50s or something. Like they just, and you know what's crazy? The media gives him a fucking pass for this.
Of course they do.
But rip fucking Microsoft over the coals because Phil misspoke about some 4K shit. No, who the fuck comes to E3 with 2 games?
Yeah, it's almost like they know. It's almost like Nintendo's on their deathbed. And what's really funny is Nintendo and Sega, I think they're going to go out of business for the exact opposite reasons. Sega kept trying to iterate too quick and didn't really have, you know what I'm saying? And Nintendo refuses to do anything to compete in that way, and that's going to do them in. So I think it's really interesting.
All motherfuckers want is a traditional console with a traditional controller. That's it. Motherfucker. Well,
Nintendo's IPs, man, with great.
Reaper, you looking forward to Nintendo? You gonna play on that system? You gonna get it? The NX, if it's good.
Maybe the day that Zelda can speak, maybe then.
Oh shit! Wait, hold up, man. Let me get a smug bastard a round of applause for that one, man. Hold up, man. You gotta get one of these for that, man. You should remember the day when fucking Link they got a fucking Link looking like fucking Lisa Simpson. I don't know what the fuck's going on, man. But I just can't deal with them anymore, man. So let me ask you, Dealer. I haven't spoken to you in person. What was your highs of E3? Like, what had your juices pumping, beating your chest like Ultimate Warrior? Like, what did it for you during E3?
Man, I was pissed off for half of E3 because they came out there with that Minecraft again. Okay. Well, you know what? I can go down the road. Okay, Microsoft. What was your highs and your lows with Microsoft conference? Take it from there. They started strong. It was interesting. I knew they were unveiling hardware. And then they started showing off Minecraft and talking about all the, stuff that's really been done before, but with different titles. I understand Minecraft is huge and it's Microsoft's, but I feel like that could have been done during a press release.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
And they literally wasted 10 minutes, 15 minutes on Minecraft, and then a bunch of indie games I did not buy a $500 system to play. And you know me, I want AAA games, and I feel like they wasted 20 minutes or more, and I was so pissed off. And before they revealed the Scorpio, that was probably the worst E3 in 6 years for Microsoft to me.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, and that's just me being me, giving my honest opinion. I expected more, and I didn't expect Minecraft again to be on their stage and waste all that time and all those indies. Not to say that some of them weren't interesting, like We Happy Few and Inside and things like that, but it's just that's the biggest stage in North America for that kind of stuff. So I didn't want to sit there for 20 minutes and see that. But then they revealed Scorpio, and the conference went from like probably a 6.5, 7.5 if you're Huff and Pine Saw, all the way up to like an 8.5 because they revealed this hardware that's just this is some next level shit.
You know what it was? A dealer. Yeah. It was the fucking commercial. It was so fucking 4K looking. And it was fucking clear. And Bonnie Ross like, yeah, we went to build a console, and
she looked like she was about to like, I don't know.
Yeah, but listen, did you see, they dropped the gem in there. They had the creators from Fallout. They're like, yeah, now with this powerless console, we can bring Fallout to VR.
I told you guys. Bring up that commercial, bro. They rendered that was a renderer of the motherboard, and I brought this up in my video earlier today, where even Digital Foundry is saying that's 12 gigabytes of G5 GDDR5 RAM on that motherboard. God, so not 8, not 10, 12 gigabytes of GDDR5 RAM in the Xbox Scorpio.
You know what? Probably maybe 4 or so still gonna be dedicated to the OS. And
that's still 4 more.
Yeah. According to the developer, one of the guys from DICE, I remember last year when it came out. Remember Sony said they had 8 gigs of RAM, whatever, for gaming or whatever the fuck the case may be. Then we started to get a little bit of leaks that they only really have with 5 or 5.5. Yeah. And I remember Hip Hop Gamer being Hip Hop pointed it was. I heard from my own source and that it was going to be at least 7 gig. The guy was like, no. He said,
Did he make a song about that too?
Yeah, I think he took the song down, bro, because somebody asked me about it, and I went to his channel to go find. I think he took that shit down. But
motherfucker needs to quit rapping. Tupac would bitch smack that dude.
But he was the guy developer from DICE. It was like you really can't use more than 6 or 6.5 gigs of in a game because it begins to pull back. But I guess this was 2013. I'm thinking things have changed and things are moving forward, and games are hopefully becoming more graphically demanding. Like I said, I'm really excited. But I hope the trailer before I'm gonna shut the fuck up was that fucking 4K stamp. That bitch was looking like $7, wasn't it? That bitch was like,
yeah,
awesome, man.
Like a crack rock.
Yeah, man. But I'd say you didn't like it. So, Game, what did you think about the conference?
The conference was good. I was excited when they announced the Scorpio. I was a little sad that I was like, oh man, I gotta wait till like next year Christmas to get this. I can't even lie. But the Xbox One S kind of soothed me over. I came up with the plans. Okay, I'm gonna get this console. I'll get the S, and when the new one comes out, I'll trade it up and get the next one, whatever. Okay. But the S got me excited too for HDR gaming. This has not been done yet on PC, on anywhere. Mm-hmm. People are saying, "Oh, HDR gaming's been around a long time in PC." No, it hasn't. It was a different form of it where they just took like different exposures and like put it together, so you had like that effect. This is like real high dynamic range, and no game supports this yet. There's games that obviously will support it as this comes out.
So right now it's an Xbox One games exclusive. Is that what you're saying?
Is Sony doing the same thing? I hope so.
Sony has the architecture to do the same thing too. I don't know how well it's going to be implemented because Microsoft's been working on this for a long time, right? But anyways, I'm excited to play Gears of War in HDR. The new Forza, the Forza Horizon 3 in HDR.
Yes,
it's pretty great, man. The game itself was great.
Yeah, so imagine driving in that game and you're driving into the sunlight, seeing the God rays come through the trees. Just remember this: when it comes out and we see the games in it, people that have an HDR TV, your minds will be blown.
Yeah. Oh man.
And just to get this correct, right, you need HDMI 2.0 to do that, and you need an HDR compatible monitor, right?
Not according to the direction of this flunkies that they could flip the switch with 15 years anniversary though. You see that
Stupid.
shit there?
Yeah, they're those guys. You know, I told them a long time ago, and all these guys gave me so much shit saying, "What are you talking about? There's enough bandwidth on the GPU. It can be done." Listen, it's more than having enough bandwidth on the GPU. You need you need a way to transmit that bandwidth off of the GPU. Now, Xbox One does not have a display port. If it had a display port, sure. The display port has like, I don't know, 20 gigabytes per second bandwidth. You could draw it off there and you could get it. It doesn't have a display port. It has HDMI 1.4. Xbox One came out before HDMI 2.0 was a thing. So how could they have hardware that wasn't made yet in a console? Like Back to the Future shit? Come on, man. And I don't know. Those
That's
guys,
what enables the HDR and the 4K Blu-ray and streaming functionalities at HDMI 2.0 and the Xbox One S.
It doesn't have enough bandwidth for HDR. It has enough bandwidth for 4K 30 frames per second at 8 bits, but it doesn't have enough bandwidth for 4K 30 frames per second at 10 bits or 60 frames per second at 10 bits. It can't do it. Not enough bandwidth. And also, too, the HTCP 2.2 copyright protection is not on HDMI 1.4. It's on HDMI 2.0.
Yeah.
And also, too, HDMI 2.0 needed an update to HDMI 2A. You needed to have HDMI 2.0 software. Could not be done. Will not be done. Impossible. End of story.
I don't. I was having looking in the comments. I don't think Spider-Man's a time exclusive. I think that's Sony's game. I don't.
Yeah, that's an exclusive. That's a Sony exclusive.
And again, I don't care. It probably was a trade-off for them letting them use for Sony allowing Disney to use Spider-Man and Avengers or whatever. Like I don't give a shit. I ain't with signing fucking petitions. Like they got their games. We got our games. We Xbox fans. We gotta have some pride and some dignity. We don't go around begging for games. We got our own shit. You know what I mean? T Reaper, you there?
Yeah.
You put your cock down. All right. Your highs and your lows of E3.
I liked Microsoft, and I liked Microsoft because it showed me everything that I wanted to be shown. The only thing that a lot of people were bitching about is it didn't show Crackdown 3. To me, it didn't show me Kingdom Hearts 3, even though that's a multiplat. Didn't show me the next Halo. And
you got Halo that shit, damn, Jesus.
Yeah, those are the only three that I heard. That two of them are my complaints, and then one of them is my friend's complaints. But I liked it that they opened with hardware. I liked it that they closed with hardware. Okay. I liked it that they showed off the Windows 10 capabilities with console, both with the clubs with Forza Horizon 3 and that Minecraft. That's what really that Minecraft thing was for. I'm not really a big fan of Minecraft, but I like it that they showed the demonstration that it can be cross-played across all devices now. Yeah, so I like that.
So they're gonna keep that shit. Hey, listen, I got a little request, Phil or whoever. I remember Crapping used to be saying that Microsoft have to show indie. No, the fuck they don't. Do your own thing. Sony didn't bring their goddamn indie to that goddamn. You see they ain't show No Man's Sky again. Leave that shit. I'm listening. E3 is for the Michael Bay trailer transforming the explosions. That's E3. Indies and shit, little fucking, Game Boy Advance games do not fucking belong on the big stage. So when they get Gamescom next year, I don't want to see any fucking. If you bring Mr. Bean out that motherfucker again next year talking with his phones, I swear to God, I'm driving and retting, slapping everybody in the fucking office. Come here.
Dude, I swear to God, when that Chris Charlie motherfucker walks out on stage,
that's his name?
My expectations just go right down the toilet.
No, is it We Happy Few? Is that what that?
That looks interesting. That looks interesting, but that was
that was really the only interesting indie slash game that
I like Inside and Below looked pretty good too, and of course Cuphead.
But they spend more time on that shit than they did playing Gears.
Yeah, but
at least it wasn't 40 minutes of indies like it was last year.
There shouldn't have been no fucking indies. We don't want to. Come on, they spent that fucking. Come on, listen, I get it, and I'm not knocking those that like it, but those games. Here's the thing: they don't show well. Prime example.
Yeah,
when
exactly.
Sony had their was it PlayStation whatever fucking event last year or whatever, and they showed the E3. I mean, they showed their VR, right? The games didn't show well, and that's what the media was slamming them for. But when they showed it at this year's at game at E3, they showed the big multiplats, and it showed well. When they showed the socket robots and fucking the Order 1886 on the fucking roller coaster, them games looked like shit. They ran like shit. They looked like fucking horrible places in 2 games. They didn't show well. You know what I mean? Like I said, those indies, I'm not saying they may be interesting on, they just don't show well. How do you go from fucking showing Scalebound to fucking showing fucking Minecraft? Like, it doesn't go to, like, that fucking Scalebound demo was fucking awesome. You know what I mean? I've been screaming about Scalebound for the last 2 fucking years. But I'm sorry, are you finished with your highs and lows?
Well, I'm not done yet.
Go.
Well, like I said though, that Minecraft thing, they blow that to hell. But the whole reason that thing was like being shown was to show the all devices concept. It wasn't shown just to be like sitting there. Kind of like the year before when they showed a HoloLens. The whole point was to see the Minecraft being built in like one space.
Yeah, they damn sure did show fucking Minecraft last year. Like, come on with this Minecraft shit.
Show us maybe Minecraft 2. I don't know. Something new.
All they need to do is show that stuff at Xbox Daily, the one that's live on Xbox Live.
Yeah.
Show it there. Take it off the stage.
That's all they gotta fucking do. We can't finish T-Sweaty Balls Reaper.
Yeah. Yeah, but I like the whole conference. I think the only thing was that those things weren't shown, and I didn't. I wanted less indies, as you guys put it. Put that shit off the stage, no matter what they do. Now I liked it slightly better than that Sony shit, but Sony had more of a spectacle showing than Microsoft. But Microsoft brought out this year's releases, showed the hardware, showed the innovation of the console, so that shit won it for me.
You are right. They did show games, and four AAAs this year alone that are coming out this year, and Sony. All of that shit's in development. No release dates except for 1 or 2 titles, and that's it.
It's going to be
None
released.
Of them are coming out next year.
It's going to be released next century.
Microsoft definitely won in that regard. I mean, no contest with games coming out.
You know what? I guess if you look at it from that aspect, we are getting Forza Horizon 3 this year, which looked fucking amazing. We are getting Gears of War 4 this year, which fucking looks amazing. What else?
We're getting Recore. We're getting Dead Rising 4. Although they said Dead Rising 4 is a timed exclusive. Is that true?
No. I saw an interview on that, and he said it's the same situation that happened with Dead Rising 3.
See, the one thing I didn't like about Sony is like they played off these certain games that looks like it's their IP, and then you go back like that Resident Evil 7. That's not their IP. It's it's actually a multiplayer.
It's a pretend all day, bro.
It's a multiplayer. I wanted that so bad, and then I was like, it had me thinking if that was really a PS4, I might have to go buy it. But then my boy Bone was like, no man, that's a multiplayer. Don't worry about it.
They fooled me too with that one.
I will say this. Maybe because Sony, they are how should I say? They're into the movie business and stuff and music. They do present their games very well. With the orchestra, I give them that. They build their crowd and the hype. But Sony can come out in the States, take his shit and say, fuck, you paid me. And motherfuckers, they're clapping any goddamn way. But to me, even getting to Microsoft, like I said, the meat and potatoes, of course, the Gears, the Scalebound, Forza Horizon, even Halo Wars 2 looked good. Even though I don't like RTSs, that looked good.
I'm having issues with that frickin' beta. I can't get it to frickin' launch. It keeps freezing.
I just got done playing it, man. It ran fine for me.
I got it to run fine for like 50 minutes during the entire time I've had it.
I'm just not into RTS.
It's really early. You can tell. I got a real quick question for each of you, really.
It looked good on the stage. It looked good when they were showing it. I wish I could have seen something new from Microsoft that I didn't know. I guess I do realize they do have Gamescom, which is a month and a half from now. So they probably can't come out there and show it. I've been begging and clamoring for a fucking Battletoads. I've been clamoring for a fucking Battletoads. Everybody keeps talking about Sea of Thieves. Crap said he likes it. Tim tweeted out something today.
I liked it. I wanna know when that comes out because that looks.
Is it a free to play? Is it a $60 title? I don't what.
I did notice it. It looks a bit different than it did at the reveal. That's for sure.
I don't know. I'm just not. I'm sorry.
Pretty cool, man. You get with a bunch of your buddies. You roam the seas.
99% of my friends are black. They don't like water. They ain't going to no. I'm just
flashbacks.
No, this E3 definitely.
Hey man, you're completely incorrect. But nah, the people that I really gang with it, they're not into shit like that. You know what I mean? I gotta hook up with the white boys. You know what I mean? And I'm fucking 2 steps behind. They always fucking killing me, man. I can't get my friends to step outside of their comfort zone. Like I try some shit. Like I buy fucking Halo every fucking thing. I don't like really Halo, but TV. But we went into the story together. But then I'm just not with the Halo shit, man. But it is what it is. But
Well, no,
as
this
I'm
E3 basically made me go broke. Like I'm gonna have an issue paying my bills at the end of the month. My mom's gonna have to give me $50 because I pre-ordered 3 games in one day, and it's like I'm gonna be running like $20 short.
Hey, Reaper, you crazy as hell. So my mom's having me $50 for
No,
the bills.
I get two games in September. I get 3 games in October. I get 2 games in November, and I get one game in December. And I want that slim.
Yeah, it's cool, bro. But back to what I was saying. Of course, the low part of the show was the indie stuff, and I've been saying this forever. Even if they don't come out, they have to show the Neo, and not sorry, not the Neo, the Scorpio. And now, for those that were against it, now they're all happy. Why? We needed this as extra boost our morale. You know what I mean? So now you see the narrative's trying to change. It's all about the games. We didn't get the chance this generation. I don't know if this generation is ending or whatever. We didn't get the chance to just enjoy our games. Our games were dissected on Digital Foundry and counting frame betas. That beta is 720p. Like we've got the shit slapped out of this generation. It's been crazy. But now we have the most powerful console. That's why I'm saying if the Xbox Scorpio, I hope they keep the fucking name because we all used to fucking saying it now. If the Xbox Scorpio, it can do native 4K without a hiccuping, that should be the standard. You understand what I'm saying? Not Sony drive that thing home. They want everything to be 1080p. Fuck the frame rate. As long as I have that 1080p sticker, you know what? Let us sit back. Hey, your shit is upscale. What's that? A dynamic resolution 4K? What the fuck is that? Oh no, it's that dynamic resolution 4K. You know what I mean? Let us fucking bathe in the fucking sun. You know what I mean? I did say yesterday and said who won E3, and I'm still sticking by that. I think end of the day, you guys may feel different. I think the gamers won, and just to be not even trying to be politically correct here, because Sony fans, I think they genuinely were happy with what they got, which is cool. And I think us Xbox fans, we're not even faking a forced smile, and they take your school pictures and shit, and you got to beat them right before you take a picture. You got to be forced that fucking smile and shit. We were happy, what we got with the Scorpio, the Slim. We didn't mention the fucking Gears controller. We were fucking happy with what we got. You know what I mean? So I think both fucking sides were fucking happy. Nintendo fans, they still out there in fucking Uber world, some fucking weird. And Willy's Wonker, fucking, I don't know what the fuck they're out there doing, but they were happy about their fucking Zelda and that Pokemon Platinum, whatever the fuck they were playing. Hey, you know what I mean? So like I said, at the end of the day, I think us as gamers won, but I played this TV. Well, I question for all you guys. If you could steal one game from Sony and bring it to the Xbox Scorpio, something that they showed yesterday, at E3, what game would it be?
Probably God of War.
Yeah. What about you, Dean and Dealer? If you could steal one game from them and bring it to the Xbox Scorpio or whatever Xbox Scorpio, what would it be?
Oh man, the God of War with that Spider-Man looks sick too, man.
Yeah, God of War. What about you, Dealer?
That Spider-Man did look raw as fuck, didn't it?
Okay.
But I would choose a game that's already been out, and that's the Uncharted series. It's only
what they showed at their E3.
I wouldn't take anything from their E3, really.
Huh?
No, God of War looked interesting, but there's no release date on it. Who knows what that's going to turn out?
I don't give. That motherfucker's coming. That goddamn. That I always told you guys. Like some of you guys like Halo. Dealer, you're a big Forza dude. You love your car games. I am passionate about fucking God of War. You know what I mean? Like, that kept me and my wife together. I got caught fucking cheating and shit. I bought this goddamn. I bullshit you not, man. I bought this fucking game home. My wife was giving me the cold shoulder. We weren't even married then. Was giving me the cold shoulder for like 2. Were we married? I don't know. We might have been married. I don't know. Maybe just got married. I don't fucking know. No, Maya wasn't even fucking born when God of War 3 came out. And I just got fucking caught cheating. I'm fucking getting. Got busted with this 85-year-old lady giving me a hand job in the closet, right? And I went to fucking, I'm trying to kiss her ass. I ordered some fucking edible arrangements. Like, you always get a fucking real story from Next Gen. Ordered some fucking edible fucking arrangements and shit. And, I'm being fucking nice, being fucking Casanova. And I fucking, she did make me something to eat. It's probably spit my food. But she's eating on the couch. I'm eating. We didn't have any kids then. But anyway, so I'm eating, she's eating, so I put God of War 3 in. And my wife, if you don't know, she has a master's in history. She's a fucking history buff. And she got to telling me, because she watched me play, what's that, Dante's Inferno, and she was all about that, telling me about the characters and all that shit. So I put God of War 3, and she knew all the gods, and, like Kratos saved my fucking marriage, man. Thank you, fucking Sony. You think I would be a fucking pony. But I'm just saying, so that was the first God of War I ever played before, and that shit was like, I didn't play the first two God of Wars. 3 was the first one, and I don't know if you guys ever played 3. Fucking Hercules was your brother. You beat his fucking face in. Like, that shit fucking brutal. I was like, oh
yeah,
my
God of War 4, God of War, whatever it's called. It looked interesting, just no release date. Jesus. And I know you're wanting to probably wrap stuff up here soon, but I had a quick question for each of you before we do all that.
Yeah.
I wanted to know what games you guys wanted to see that didn't even show up to E3 this year.
From who?
Anyone. Doesn't matter.
Okay.
I want Kingdom Hearts 3. That's what I want.
Okay, Kingdom Hearts 3. I'm gonna shut the fuck up here. From Sony, to be honest with you, I'm happy with what they showed. I'm fine. From Microsoft, this is my big. Phil, you're listening, Phil. I heard you always fucking. You have my channel under a microscope. You said I got a potty mouth, but I'm sorry, Phil. I want something new. I want something fresh. I want Microsoft to go outside of their norm. Besides the Forzas, besides the Gears, besides the Halo, you understand what I'm saying?
What about third-party publishers and stuff?
I don't. The multiplats, they're gonna come. I mean, there's something that, I'm just talking about. But I just too far as exclusively. Oh, I'm lying. I'll take all that fucking mumbo jumbo back. EA, where the fuck is my fight night? You know what I mean?
Yep, that's a good one to have.
Give me my fucking fight night, EA. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, let's start this petition right now. Fucking Peter Moore and all these guys, you guys get behind me. Let's fucking bring back fucking fight night, man.
Those games were just better than the UFC games. That's just all there is to it.
They played better. I mean, to me, at the end of the day, it's not so. What UFC, you got a lot going on and kicking and grappling. It's hard to, but give me my fight night. You know what I mean? I love fight night. That's just the shit. I don't know. But how about you, Dean?
I wanted to see Crackdown. I was kind of disappointed. I was like, oh, where is it? What?
I mean, something else besides that. You know what's coming?
I'd like a Rise too, to be honest with you.
Rise, that's a good point too. That, you know what? I think that'd have been dope if we could have got if Microsoft. That's what told us something different. They came out there and gave us a Rise too. I know they had the problems with Crytek and all that shit. But right now they're staying in a fucking welfare motel right now. Crytek fucked up financially.
Yeah.
Microsoft is swooping in, get that game, and have fucking Platinum Studios do it. Like they're doing a great job with fucking Scalebound. They gave us a fuck. You know what? Rise 2 was a good game. The story was good. You know what I mean? I'm gonna be honest with you. Crytek has the same stigma as a Guerrilla Games, that they make very pretty games, but the games are not that fun. Rise to me would have been a much better game if it wouldn't have been a launch title. That game went through but first it was a Kinect game. But you got to make it for launch. They didn't let you change your weapon. The fact that you went through the whole game with the same shield and sword. He gave me, some nunchucks or some fire or something. It'll make that game.
It was definitely under pressure to get out for launch. That's for sure.
I think
but it still had a lot of content, man. A good story, a crazy co-op multiplayer.
I never tried the multiplayer.
Really, for me, with the games I'd like to see, a lot of people would say, hey, Red Dead, a new Red Dead, or things like that. I wanted to see maybe a Shadow of Mordor 2, a Middle Earth 2, which surprisingly we didn't hear about. There are leaks, so that's a thing. I know E3's not over, but I wanted to see something from the new Batman remaster running on Unreal Engine 4 because I think those games will shine in the Scorpio or Neo mode because that's what Unreal 4 is about. Those engines are definitely more demanding than what the current hardware can provide. And I don't know. I noticed a few things not there this year that I expected to be there.
Listen, before we go, let's do 3 questions in the audience. If you guys got any questions for us, I got my man here, Robert Ballou, who watches all this shit here. He said he wanted to see a Red Dead 3. Now, listen, was it a Red Dead 2 already?
No, this Red Dead 2 would be the one they'd announce.
Okay, well, he got hit Red Dead 3. Maybe it was a typo on his part. He said a new mech assault, more backwards 360, and a remastered Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. Now, I did see something. I was kind of half-heartedly listening. I did see something. From EA about Star Wars Knights of the Old. Was that a new game? Was it an old game? Did you guys see the EA?
Yeah, I saw something. I think it is a remaster of one of them. I think so. Don't quote me on that, but there is a new Star Wars game coming. I did see catch
A
part of the
bunch
No.
of
trailer
them.
for it.
Listen, before we get the hell out of it, did you shout out to Xbox, man? They showed a clip. I don't know where the hell they got it from. It was a GIF of the new Star Wars game that thing Amy Pennyway is pinning. Did you see the graphics on that shit when he walked
They
up?
showed a clip of it.
Yeah. Look, go to Xbox, man. Yeah, in Star. Yeah, it was like a little GIF, and he was like in his little bundle, and he walks outside. That shit looks amazing.
Oh yeah, I did see that one. You walked outside to yeah.
Yeah, I
So,
posted the
that's
link
good.
on Twitter and then Facebook and all that shit. That shit looked amazing. I was a little upset that we didn't get. I'm not a big Star Wars buff. I think the games are coming, but that Star Wars 1313 looked fucking amazing. You know what I mean? But yeah, you know what I mean. But I'm sorry. We go to answer. Like, if you guys have like 2 or 3 questions for us before we get the hell out of here. I had to go back up to this goddamn hospital. Let me see here. Let me go to the comments. Let me refresh the page. You guys got a question for any of us about anything about or opinion about E3? We do about 2 or 3. We get the hell out of here. We got here. I have a question. Okay, this is King. I don't know what this is. King May Lead. King Mac My Lead. I'm sorry if I fucked your name up. Please. I have a question. Do you think that Microsoft should buy Remedy or do something or anything to make sure Remedy next game is not multi-platform or not a PS4 exclusive? They are my favorite dev. You know what, bro? That's a good question. I like Remedy. I'm gonna let you guys answer this too. I like Remedy. I like the games that they made. But I think the issue is that Remedy wants to make money, and listen. There's no damage control in the show. Quantum Break fucking tanked. That game didn't sell 200,000 copies physically. I know it made it.
Yeah, let's not go by that, because didn't Frank, the motherfucker behind Halo 5, say that Halo sold 5 million, but only 1.8 million are physical, right?
But 200,000?
Yeah, so I mean, even if that's still almost a million if you go by what Halo's ratios were for digital.
Like, Quantum Break is not fucking Halo.
I know.
We're talking about 200,000 at the count.
I'm just comparing the ratios between physical and digital, and if you apply the same to Quantum Break, it didn't sell nearly as much, but the ratios would still apply.
You gotta realize Halo did over 450 million in the first week.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Period. So I mean,
1.8 physical and a little over
whatever
40
between
million
consoles
digitally.
and toys or whatever. That's a huge franchise.
I'm just saying, I think Quantum Break did better than what people think. Digital set.
That game made a lot. I'm sorry, a game like that costs a lot to make. They've been showing this Quantum Break since 2013. Let's be
Bro,
honest.
it's that dev cycle. 5 years, man. That's a killer right there. They can't do that anymore. That's why they got 2 teams.
That's just Remedy.
They just got another whole team. They said they're not doing that shit anymore.
Everything they make just takes hella long. But I would listen to the day. So back to what I was saying, I wish Microsoft stepped outside the box. They need a company like Remedy that's going to do something other than a fucking shooter or a fucking racer. You know what I mean? What studios that Microsoft has? The Coalition. They do Gears. They have 343 that does Halo. They have the Forza Squad. And what else? That's it.
Rare.
Fuck that boat game, bro. You know what I mean? I'm just being real. You know what I mean? That's why I was so fucking avid and livid about them canning fucking Lionhead Studios.
They have the funds, man, to hire any talent they want.
They do. Open the fucking checkbook, man. Ding. All right. I'm sorry. We got here. Okay. What's in the queue? Okay. Xbox will you be buying a rich cucumber eater USA? All right. He said, will you be buying the Scorpio day one? Do a bear shit and Will's wipe his ass with a rabbit?
Yeah.
Okay.
Day one. I pre-ordered
4K TV or
the
not,
Xbox
day
One
one.
S already, man.
Yeah.
I'm definitely gonna buy it. I might even buy 2.
Oh shit. Jeez, what he balls me.
Damn.
All right. Is there any more questions?
$100 from your mom, Rupert.
Yeah, Deb's standing. Going once, going twice. Microsoft just cared about 3 franchises. Top Gunner's back with his Top Gunner. Great. You know what? Shout out to boy Top Gunner, man. I know we get Top Gunner a bunch of shit sometimes, but he just he got about 20 fucking Facebook accounts. But I think my man, he's a cool cat though, man. I think he's autistic or something, but whatever. Because my first cousin was autistic. No, I'm not laughing. I think or Asperger's or something. He's very. I don't know if it's OCD, but he be fucking sending me like 1,000. I get to read him sometimes. He sends me about 80 fucking messages a day, but he fuck with the brand. He fuck with us here, man. He was big on that 720p shit. That shit drew him fucking crazy. But anyway, Protoss X said that's bad. Some indies sell more than 200K. But anyway, thank you for rocking out with Xbox Beastfire. I'll be back tomorrow, God willing, if I'm not at the hospital with my grandmother, with the multiplayer podcast. I found a better name for that thing. The multiplayer podcast. Be back tomorrow between 5 to 7 p.m. between those times there. I'm still trying to lock it down, but thank you for rocking out with us. Is there anything you want to say before we go? T Reaper, you?
Yeah,
Yeah, go.
Yeah, I just want to give a quick shout out to Mr. 100 for hitting 1,000 subs.
Oh shit! Shout out to my boy Little Red. What's his name? Rick Red. Man, what to call some shit? Shout out to Mr. 100.
Yeah, he hit 1,000 subs today.
Yeah, 1,000.
And he gave you a shout out, Next Gen.
Yeah, that's my boy, man. I watch his shit. He got a funny show with him and the guy Mando. It's my man. I haven't spoken to him in a while. I need to hook up with my man. Hit me up, bro. What you want to say, Dean?
Yeah, I got a video out today discussing why Xbox Scorpio is a Vega GPU, and it also has the Phil Spencer interview where he clarifies the message on the Xbox Scorpio and the 1080p debacle.
Okay.
So he clears that up. So I have a video on that as well, and I have the audio for the entire interview. So if you guys
Okay,
want
that's
to
the
hear
shameless
watch
plug
that.
by my boy Dean, the Nigerian that will sell you a silver-plated fucking toothbrush. Like, that's my boy Dean there. Dean's from Canada, if you didn't know. He's Jamaican, Dean?
Yeah, Jamaican. Yeah.
My man Dean. Also doing the shameless plug for me on my end. Swing by bgstpodcast.com. Join the forums. We're trying to get that thing bigger than NeoGAF, man. We taking this shit over the top. And you got anything you want to say before you get out of here, dealer?
No, I ain't gonna plug no shit. God damn it, Billy Mays. I'm gonna say that I appreciate all the support, fellas, on today's video and every single one of them. You guys always check them out. Good shit.
And he said he got the world's smallest dick, no matter.
Yep. The world's small. Well, it might be one other dude with a smaller one, but me and him going back and forth about it.
We out of here, man. Thank you for rocking out with us, man. Bang, bang. Hit 20. Listen, our audience is growing. Our audience is growing here, man.
Really? Yeah.